In my opinion, what differentiates the Fusebox from other providers in this area is that it's a holistic approach to not just sales methodology and how to actually maximize opportunities, but it's interwoven to a platform that allows you to capture all the intelligence, and then using digital methods for dropping more intelligence into that platform, or indeed reporting on it. You can pull it all together, and further to that also take advantage of the exceptional coaching and mentoring skills that the team provided. Rarely, if not ever, have I ever come across an organisation that offered us all of those three areas: the platform, the methodology and the coaching, all from within one brand. The work that Fusebox have done with Phoenix over the last few years has been strategic to our sales force in terms of trying to enable all of our account managers, junior up to senior, to access as many opportunities as we have within our top accounts, and to actually expand the current trading relationship that we have with them, and to do that on a long-term sustainable basis using intelligence tools and a sales platform that is there for future growth. I think Fusebox's interpretation of our brief was particularly specific to our needs. You spent an inordinate amount of time getting to know the organisation. You come highly referenced to us by our sales director, who had used you in his previous organisation. But what you didn't do was make assumptions that that same fit would be right for Phoenix. And the due diligence and the getting to know the people, the culture and the gaps that you were going to try and help us fill, I think probably took the bulk of the first few months in us cementing our relationship. And it was right that we invested that time with you at an executive level and down at the grassroots level with the salespeople to recognise where the weak areas were, so that could hopefully reconfirm to you what the scope of the work would be over the forthcoming year or two. Fusebox, in terms of getting to know us, I think developed very personal relationships with all of the key stakeholders, which allowed us to be open and honest and very authentic with you. And I think that's quite vital and key in any organisation, recognising weaknesses or areas that you want to improve on. So I think that approach in working hard to build the trust in those early months was pretty key, pretty important to both parties, and served us well in the long term. The most important aspect of what we got out of our engagement and partnership, I think, was allowing all of our stakeholders, the execs, the senior management team, and all of our account managers to understand various tools that they could use to open up an account and the opportunities, and to grow and develop much more opportunity and pipeline than they probably first thought was possible. The personal benefit that I derived from the programme, I think, was seeing some of our younger talent absolutely blossom in confidence, and to showcase them, to actually be able to put them on a pedestal back to the rest of the sales force, to call them out as champions, for them to grow in their own right and be, if you like, buddies for their colleagues, and show them what success they'd enjoyed from applying the methodology, sticking to the profiling and developing the relationships with their accounts. The personal satisfaction I got out of that, and seeing some of those younger, less experienced salespeople blossom, was probably, I think, the biggest. Individuals that might have just been ticking along in terms of achieving okay targets, maybe 3-4 years into their career, not being able to break through a ceiling of a mediocre target achievement, were suddenly finding that they could unearth significant projects, work collaboratively with people across the business to involve them to develop much richer engagements, conversations, and actually tip up some star performances that made them look like sales specialists and real achieve. They achieve personally. And from that point of view, I can call out at least 3 or 4 individuals that I saw probably go from being a very modest salesperson to quite a highly successful one. Yeah, fun. There was a lot of fun along the way, and friendships, I think, built that I believe will be there for the future. But more importantly, very candid feedback, very open channels of communication with the Fusebox allowed us to keep working on individuals, and in some cases actually to create plans, programs that were specific for their needs, and to actually work in coaching and developing them in areas of weakness to the point where they felt successful again. The benefits that the management team gained would be consistency and a unified understanding of what it was that the sales force were doing to try and grow and develop more opportunities. So common language in terms of the GROW methodology, common understanding of the behaviour we were trying to drive across the sales force, and the outcomes that we wanted to derive from that behaviour change. So actually appointing somebody senior within the management team to accelerate on the adoption plan was very key to us. That individual helped to, on a monthly and quarterly basis, keep checking in with the board, reporting on the success, and that common understanding of what we all believe success looked like and how we were achieving against it, month by month, quarter by quarter, and down to individual level, how they were actually moving along. So I think at a management level, we suddenly had a framework within which we could all talk and discuss how the culture of the sales force was changing, and it not be anecdotal. It could be based on fact, it could be based on KPIs, goals, and actual statistics that we were measuring on an ongoing basis. The one word I would use to describe Fusebox, I think would be performance focused. That's 2 words. Yeah, let me go again. No. The one word I would use to describe Fusebox in a nutshell, I think, would be the individual. It was all about the individual, getting the best out of them and working to address any areas of lack of confidence or weakness to get them up to the mark so that they actually benefited from the whole programme. A sentence to describe the Fusebox would probably be a holistic approach to sales excellence. I think what I'd like to add is that working closely with the Fusebox team, what we saw over the years of our relationship was a very agile relationship that was one we could change and adapt according to our needs. It was never a rigid contract referring to T's and C's kind of arrangement, and that suited us well. We're an easy to work with company, and we felt that that was reciprocated in the same way by the Fusebox. Their culture of easy to get along with, easy to do business, easy to communicate and to discuss all manner of things, but most of all to keep it agile. In the industry that we work in, that's an absolute pressing need. Our goals, our pressures, our customer demands can mean that from one week to the next, our priorities are changing. And I'm delighted that the Fusebox were able to adapt and work with us according to our needs.